I had talked to Nancy on the phone um months ago. This was actually years ago. Do you remember this conversation?
It was years
And
ago.
you had told me that filming your scene, if I remember correctly, that mud puddle was heated.
It
Now,
must have been 90 degrees or something.
so that makes me wonder, was this an actual outdoor puddle that they had
Oh,
heated, or was this on a set?
it was Crystal Lake. It was literally in Georgia, and it was at a camp scene, and it was 18 degrees. It was,
Mm,
oh yeah, it was 18 degrees with a wind chill factor minus something.
wow.
How cold it was. And if you see everybody around, you'll see everybody with huge fur coats and huge fur everything. I had
Yeah.
no idea they were going to heat the mud puddle for me, but they did. Praise God, they heated the puddle,
Nice.
and it was
Nice.
lovely. But getting out was a challenge. So you had to do it
Oh
all in one
yeah.
to get it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. I can imagine it'd be like jumping out of a hot tub into the winter weather, getting out.
and on top of that, we were at a real camp, which had stall showers, and it's the winter, so and they
Mm,
never had warm water anyway. So it was
mm.
ice cold water, no stalls, no anything, trying to get this rich, thick clay mud that took approximately 3 weeks to really get out. But I wasn't going to wait. I got as much off as I could. I
Yeah.
put
Yeah.
on as many clothes as I could. It was freezing. It was,
Oh, I bet. I bet. Now,
God, I was,
are you familiar with Judy Aronson from part
oh, I know
four?
her name.
Yeah,
Yes.
she was actually in freezing water during her entire shoot, and I think she actually got hypothermia. And it was Ted White who says, "No, we're done. You got your shot. If you put that girl back in the water, I'm done." So, and I believe
Oh, God
in my
bless her.
conversation with her, she had gotten hypothermia, and she says, "Jason saved my life." So, I'm so glad they heated your mud for you.
Jason didn't. Jason almost killed. Well, actually, I almost died literally twice too.
And that was CJ in your scene, correct?
CJ was wonderful. CJ was
Yeah,
perfect. Well,
yeah.
Jason didn't try to kill me, but they didn't get the proper glass. They had real
Mm,
glass there, and they used a real spear. So
oof.
the spear slipped, and it wasn't supposed to,
Yeah.
and so it slipped. It missed my head by this much. I
Wow.
mean, I
And that looked full
literally,
force.
yeah.
Wow.
Then of course I once again, oh, I can do the mud puddle scene. They viced my head underground. And I'm not claustrophobic or anything,
Yeah.
but my head is like this, viced under, tilted back. And
Ugh.
they the regulator, and the regulator, the mud seeped down.
Mm,
And so I'm trying to be a good egg, but I can't breathe and I can't
right.
anything. So as much as I could hold my breath over a minute, and then I raised my hand because I wanted it perfectly still.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then they bring in another regulator, thinking, oh, that was a broken regulator. It wasn't a broken regulator. Regulators can't go in mud and can't go in that direction in mud. So the producer got very annoyed and just said, just keep your head down through. And I
So
did.
in a sense, you were on some form or level waterboarded during the filming of your scene. Talk about an artist who would die for their work. That
I
that
heard them
that
call
that
lunch. I
yeah.
heard them call lunch when my head was still viced under.
Yeah.
I went, I'm going to die. They forgot about me. I couldn't believe they forgot about
Wow.
me.
So how long were you under that? Do you recall?
It was over a minute, the
How
last one.
and how long were you in the mud puddle
Oh, in the mud
altogether?
puddle?
Or underwater in the mud puddle altogether?
I
In the
was in the
puddle.
mud puddle about 8 hours to 10 hours.
Mm,
And what's funny is in the beginning, when I first get out, and there's plastic right under me, right? And then
yeah.
mud for that.
Yeah.
So I don't know that. And so I couldn't get my footing. So I thought they'd call cut, when you see me struggling
Yes.
and looking and everything, but that's because I really couldn't get my footing to get my wallet out to get the money out. So I kept expecting cut, but I was always taught don't cut until they cut.
Yeah.
And it looks good. I mean, it looks
Yeah.
real. And
It
it is
does.
real.
It does look real. And did the scene with the spear coming in through the glass, was that the scene that the take that they used in the movie?
Yeah, yeah.
So that is an almost real death scene.
Yeah.
So we get to see you actually almost killed on film and waterboarded. What other installment in this franchise are you going to get that? You're not. You're not.
Exactly. But Lizbeth didn't die. Lizbeth lives.